Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. So in today's video, we'll be looking at the revised condition of the Bay of Bengal weather and what are the prospect of genesis of depression or cyclone over the Bay of Bengal. So let's begin with the current satellite image, and we can see that there are lot of going on from Bay of Bengal up to from Bay of even from Arabian Sea up to the Pacific Ocean, and there are multiple cyclones or cyclonic systems rather are present, and they are impacting the weather condition over most part of Pacific and the Bay of Bengal. So if we just look at the animation of past 1 hour or so, we will clearly see that there is a strong cyclonic circulation. And if we just look at this, we will clearly note that there are three major weather systems. One is over Sri Lanka, one is over Sumatra, and one over Philippines. So these three weather systems are interacting very, very closely with each other, and the degree of their interaction and further modification in their tracks will determine whether they will be affecting the southern part of India or not. So now, after getting the broad idea of the current weather conditions, now let's have a look on the how various weather forecasting models are uh, projecting the evolution of these systems. So let's begin with the ECMWF model, and that will give us the idea of the future trajectory of the systems. So let's start with the ECMWF model. So currently, as expected, model suggesting intense rainfall and cloud activity over the Philippines, Sumatra, and over the Sri Lanka and South Bay of Bengal. And if we look at the model forecast for tomorrow, the Philippine systems likely to move further westward in the South China Sea. The Sumatra systems are expected to intensify further, and the Bay of Bengal and the Sri Lankan system is also likely to intensify. If we look at for projections for 26th of November, the Philippine system continue to move westward, but the Bay of Bengal, the two Bay of Bengal systems are interacting very, very closely and affecting the motion of each other. So we see forecast for 27. There is an intensification of Sri Lankan system, and there is a system over the Maldives, which is also simulated by this particular model. But the important the important aspect of 27 forecast is that the Sri Lankan LPS likely to dominate the Bay of Bengal. By 28, these three systems continue to interact, and the Sri Lankan systems likely to force the Philippine system, or rather the Sumatra system eastwards, and it will likely to dissipate. So this Sri Lankan system likely to destroy all the two system adjacent to it. By 30th of November, we can see that it will continue to move northwards rather, and will impact most part of Tamil Nadu, mostly the coastal parts and the coastal Andhra Pradesh. It will continue to move northwards and will affect the Odisha and part of Telangana as well. So this is the expectations from the ECMWF model. Now let's see what GFS has to say. So the current conditions are the same as we have seen in the ECMWF model. Now, if we look at for tomorrow, the Philippine systems movement remains slightly sluggish, while the intensification and movement of Bay of Bengal systems remain quite close, means the degree of intensification of both the Sri Lankan systems and the Sumatra systems appears to be of same degree. By 27th, they are almost of same intensity. There is almost no difference in intensity, and they are coming very close to each other. And it appears that the GFS is supporting the genesis or relatively large intensification of the Sumatra system. And then there is a very strong competition between these two systems by 29th. And then the Sumatra system continue to move northward past Port Blair, while the Sri Lankan system is still able to maintain its identity. By 30, both of them likely to merge with each other, and they are, as per the GFS, they are likely to landfall somewhere near Myanmar coast. But the landfall remains quite blurred. I mean, it is not very clear. It is kind of partial sort of landfall. But Wednesday 3rd, it is likely to weaken further, and perhaps it will dissipate within the Bay of Bengal without any proper landfall. So this is the picture expected by the GFS model. Now let's look at the icon model. As expected, the initial picture arts is same compared to all other two models. By tomorrow, there is a close interaction in next 36 hours. By 27, there is a one significant difference compared to GFS. Or in other words, it is quite similar to the ECMWF model projection, where it is expected that the Sri Lankan LPS will dominate the Bay of Bengal, and the Sumatra LPS will likely to weaken or may dissipate. Further, there is a genesis of one more system over the Maldives, which is also expected in ECMWF model. But to what extent it will remain independent, that we have to see. So by Monday, 1st of December, we see that they are moving northwards, but landfall is not very clear. It appears to remain in sea for prolonged period, but I mean, I am not very clear. I'm not very sure whether it will likely to happen like this, because there are 2-3 systems at the same time, so it is not very clear. ECMWF and ICON are following almost same trend. There is not much difference between these two, but GFS is showing quite a different picture. So I will go with ECMWF and ICON, but still there are divergences between these two models. We have to see some consensus before we can reach to any solid conclusion. So this is all about these models. Now let's look at ECMWF AI models. What the AI models are expecting. So first we will begin with the ECMWF AIFS. That is the most Robust models, as far as I have seen for past couple of days, it appears to be most robust compared to other models. So let's start with the Southern Asia and let's see 850 hectopascal winds, and let's see what it has to say. Yeah, now let's move it in time. Let's wait for it to load and then we will see what is going on here. Yeah. So it is also suggesting the intensification over the Sri Lankan coast and almost, I mean, the Sumatra system is likely to dissipate. There is no intensification. And the formation of cyclone is still under the shadow. I mean, even ECMWF, IAFS completely dissipating that system. That is quite curious case because earlier they all were suggesting the movement and formation of cyclone. Now there is no such indication. Okay, now let's look at the other model. Let's see Pangvi weather. It is also a good model, and let's see what it has to say. And yeah, let's go 850 hectopascal, and let's wait for its. Let's yeah. Yeah, again, there is intensification in this model as well over Sri Lanka, but whether it will survive is the it remains curious case. It is surviving it and even it is intensifying it. So yeah, this is same as what the ECMWF AIFS was suggesting previously. So yeah, so there are differences, but mostly they are not I mean, the genesis location is same, but the track is not that clear. Now let's look at the GraphCast. This is also a great model as far as if you're interested in uh, cyclone tracking or the synoptic system. It showed a lot of promising results. So let's see how it is performing in this particular case. Again, we have similar genesis location. Now let's see whether it will move northward or not. It is suggesting little bit of northwards movement, but the beaconing is significant and similar to the ECMWF model. It is not intensifying it into a cyclone. So